Welcome back to the July weekly qualifier number 3 for the Red Bull Wololo Legacy Tournament, the $300,000 tournament for AoE 4, and we've got Donato in the red trunks as the French, up against Carnage in the blue trunks as the French. We're on Frisian marshes today. Carnage found quite a few sheep here at home. The beauty of this map, there is quite a few safe sheep over in this corner, both players generally, and access to some fairly good fishing. Donato looking to utilise early on, because I mean, the bonus gather rate for the fishing, going to make up for the extra walk time, and you got the mill for wheelbarrow anyway. Nice and cheap for the French. Carnage just gathering off the initial sheep, which again, it's usually pretty generous with your first initial run out of your map because you can always just check this corner quick. Donato. Let me throw down the mining camp. You can also get a little bit of wood, go for an early wheelbarrow. But he'll probably opt to take it as he's aging up. Carnage just looking to gather some wood now. Some gold now, sorry. And still on the sheep, not looking to gather any early wood, so he's probably going to look at transitioning to that just before he's looking to age up. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Artie at your service. How are we all today?
What? Escolto.
Me.
So Donato already got quite a bit of fish out of that already.
Mandemans.
He's just checking to see if Carnage is taking the safe sheep, which he has. Carnage and Donato both pretty much ready to age up. Donato using 4 vills to throw down his school of cav. Carnage just got the 3. So it all comes down to this, guys. We're in a best of 3, game 3, locked up at 1-1 on the French mirror. So we've seen a Abbasid versus Delhi win from Carnage. We've seen a China versus Rus win from Donato. Donato going for the early gold harass at the moment. And he is going to get the slightly quicker age up because he has built it slightly faster. Carnage has now got up to 4 vills on it. I thought he had 3 to begin with. Donato's mill being put to good use. Already able to get wheelbarrow on the way. Fish about to run out. Carnage hasn't opted to go for wheelbarrow just yet. So age up for Donato, going for the knight. Carnage, age up finishing now. We didn't have the villagers rallied onto the sheep. He's also going for the knight. Dropping off a lot of sheep now. Donato just checking Carnage's ponds, but Carnage Hasn't really opted for them yet. Unlucky for Donato, his closest pond was only for 2 sets of fish. It looks like Carnage's are all for 3 or 4. But in saying that, Donato can always just mill here, and he's got access to 8 fish all at once. 8 sets of schools of fish all at once. So Carnage is not able to engage with the scouts and assistants. Donato's going to look at stacking up a couple of knights now. Carnage is going to try and slip one away to harass Donato in the meanwhile. And I think he might know about this mill. Looks like Donato already ready to defend some aggression. Carnage going for stone. Donato hasn't yet started going for any stone himself, so it looks like Carnage is going to try and slip in a second town centre follow-up to his stables barracks production, while Donato also going for stables barracks. So both our players are going to be able to defend quite well against an initial push with knights. Kind of just leaving scouts garrison there for the minute. So Donato seems to have the unit contained on Carnage, while Carnage has only got the 1 knight really out on the field. Donato adding a blacksmith, so he's going to get free bloomery. He's going to get the damage boost to all of his units he's going to have out in the field for now, because I mean he's transitioning to spears as well, but Carnage also going to have spears, so they can at least fend off knights for now, while Donato's spear is going to take quite a while to cross the field. Looks like Carnage might be even able to focus these vills. So Donato gonna have to wait for a knight or another spear to pop out to really fend this little guy off, who's picked off a vill and slowed down Donato's idea of going to a second town centre, while Carnage is getting one in a great spot because it's on both the food and the stone, and all he has to do is really put up another mill over here or on the far side over there, and he's really set for quite a while. Spears have now crossed the field for Donato. Carnage starting to add some of his own. So Donato actually does still manage to have the spear advantage here, but TC able to pick off the spears, at least one of them. There, Donato backing up, but he's going to see if he can split the knights up and try and pressure Carnage here, but Carnage having none of it, garrisoning straight away. So what you want to be able to do is bait the knights as close as you can before the charge goes off, and then get as much arrow fire out as possible. Force your opponent to have to be the one to add chivalry faster. It looks like Donato for now still just going to add more knights, so he's got a few of them by now. A couple of them are quite low. So 34 vills and 14 military to 36 vills and 8 military. So Carnage making use of the fact that he sniped a vill. He's got the second town centre. Donato going to be following up with the second TC of his own here, because he knows he needs to not slip behind on the vill count, because that was his problem in game number 1. In game 2 he was really able to choke Carnage out, make use of the fact that he was investing more on the water as well behind it all, and he really had the bigger eco. So Donato adding that second TC now, and he's got bloomery, but he hasn't added any more upgrades in so far. Carnage second barracks for him for now, so he can spam the spears a little bit more heavily, even though he's got this upgrade disadvantage. Neither player's gone for bowman yet, so really whoever can get more spears out can really hold off better here, and then use knights to try and harass behind it. So I think Carnage is comfortable to even try and defending with spears alone for the minute if he's under town center and tower fire. So he's going to try and push out with his knights, and Donato has figured out what his opponent's trying to do here. He's just sending all his knights across, attack route, to where he thought they'd be. But only one of them's actually managed to catch Carnage's night ball, so Carnage actually taking a good engagement there. Carnage is going to have to get out of here, otherwise these knights are all going to go down for free. But Donato not going to just chase blindly. The knight's getting really low, so Donato now, has he added chivalry? So chivalry finally kicking in for Donato, so he's had to be really careful with that knight. But he's done well to hold on to him. I don't think he's actually dropped any knights so far. So Carnage is trying to disengage, but the pursuer's always going to be able to get off a charge or two. Luckily, they're fighting through stealth forest, so it's a little bit harder for Donato to just continually chase. Donato's second town center in pretty much the same fashion as Carnage's here. In a great spot in the water where he's, you know, backed onto 4 schools of fish immediately. It's fairly minimal walk time to the rest anyway. So yeah, we see a mill there for Carnage. So we got 54 vills and 31 military to 45 vills and 23 military. So Carnage is, with the tighter second TC, has managed to get a small vill lead here. Donato, like I said, 24 military though. And more of it's in knights. And he can always just start moving forward with towers and adding some archers of his own, but he's going to add more stables for now, while Carnage is just going to add another stable. So he's committed to the full melee army and with more spears, so I think this could be a little bit rough for Donato. He's probably anticipating Carnage to follow up with a range, play a nice mixed army. Looks like Carnage has both his melee damage and armor now. Donato has his melee armor, so our players are neck and neck on the armor upgrades, and Donato dropping a couple of knights there. Hard to tell who's actually winning this, but I think Carnage is actually coming out ahead with a couple more knight kills initially there. Yeah, by the look of it, Carnage is able to get 3 knights to 2 and a couple more spears as well. Well, 2 knights to 1, sorry, and a couple more spears as well. So Donato, he's got 3 stables in the 1 barracks and adding another barracks behind this, but Carnage also has 2 stables and the 2 barracks. Both of them obviously have the School of Cav. So I think this could be quite tough for Donato to actually take engagements here, because there's plenty of spears for Carnage. Donato really has to switch it up with getting castle and adding man-at-arms, or just getting some bowmen out now. So it's a nice little raid here from Carnage, getting a Vil kill. The Knight's not going to pay out of all that cleanly because that little shallow stretch. So Carnage 120 pop. Donato 81 pop at the moment. So we've got 53 Vils and 28 military for Donato. Carnage 70 Vils and 50 military. So again, the fact that he's managed to sneak in the second town center behind his 2 production facilities just that little bit quicker than Donato. He's just given himself this little bit of an eco lead that's given him a bit of a buffer. And on top of that, compositionally now, with Donato fielding so many knights, Carnage has, you know, a few knights. He's got a dozen of them and he's still adding some more. He's also got the 2 stables production. Here we go. Another barracks now for Donato, so 2. I think Donato's now actually got a little bit more production than Carnage heading into this, but Carnage has managed to produce through this a little bit more cleanly. Spear count's definitely favouring Carnage at the moment. I think once he thins out Donato's spear count, he's pretty much free to engage with spears on the knights while he just tries to raid with the knights as best he can. Donato getting a bit of stone right now. Wonder if he's trying to sneak in a 3rd town centre. Another knight being picked off there by Carnage, so this has all in all been a great push for him. Donato, like I said, I think he now has the upper hand in production at 6 facilities. Carnage only has 5. But in saying that, especially off that last engagement, Carnage is the one sitting pretty, because now Donato definitely needs to catch up on army size. 60, losing a couple of vills in the midst of all this too, so 63 vills and 32 military to 82 vills and 55 military, so Carnage might even be free to take the 2nd town centre and force Donato into having to invest in basically getting a new 2nd town centre before he even gets a 3rd and really gets a eco advantage here. But I think I saw Carnage looking to go to his castle. He's going to get Royal Institute. He's taken a good fight. He's also a repair time while still kept his army in pretty good nick here. So Donato able to defend, but I think Carnage actually was still able to take a better trade with that. It was sort of one Donato didn't really want to take. 66 eco and 28 military to 85 and 35. Carnage for now just having a retreat. He's going to pick off a few of the knights again, it seems. Donato quick to back out. So it looks like Donato actually coming out on top there. His knights had a bit more health. Now we're going to be fighting at Carnage's towers. And he may bleed a couple of villages here, but I think his mentality is he's probably up by a couple of them anyway, so just needs to evacuate the gold gatherers. There we go, he's going to get some of the food gatherers out now. So 86 bills and 30 military still to 72 and 73 and 12. So Carnage slightly bleeding his Vil count advantage, but making up for it with military count advantage once again. Donato is going to be on his heels because he's transitioned to castle, so it's a bit of an expense. And he's gone for Royal Institute, so he's going to be getting Cav Bloodlines, an age early and a little bit cheaper. 30% cheaper. He's also going to have cheaper candled saddles and even enlistment incentives. But Donato, and look at just taking advantage of the fact that he's transitioned to Bowman now. Actually, he's going to be not far from Castle Age, so you're going to be able to get lots of arbs. I was going to say cross Bowman, but Frenchmen get the, is it Arb la Trial? I don't know how to say it. I'm not French. Forgive me. Sorry, Anglophone here. I don't speak baguette. Sorry. Carnage having to try and defend Donato's knights, but probably realizing it might not be worth the effort here. Meanwhile, Carnage is fishing over here, but there's no tower over on this side, so these guys are going to get picked off. Carnage 93 and 36. Donato 76 and 23, so Carnage in the meanwhile repeating the same behavior, raiding with knights. Going to be a little bit careful to not throw them into the spears. He has taken the vet upgrade, but even still he doesn't want to stick around. He can get the initial charge off, but he still needs to back out before he really bleeds too many there. Meanwhile, Carnage cleaning up some of Donato's knights, so he manages to go even there, I think. Maybe even got one more for his troubles. So Donato going for Castle Age now. He's got a lot of villagers committing to the Royal Institute, but bearing in mind, Carnage has already got that bonus health upgrade on his knights. And 78 and 19 to 98 and 43. It's going to be a little bit rough here for Donato. Haven't seen a monastery go down yet for Carnage. I think he wants to just look at winning another fight first before he worries about going for Castle Eco Boost. So Donato, Castle kicking in. 3 towers there, but the rest of the vills are going to have to flee. There is a lot of spears, but with the health upgrades on the knights, they are going to actually be able to take a reasonable fight here because there is some spears for Carnage to assist. So the spearmen, without their castle upgrade, not really able to make things work there. So Donato's getting that right now, and this will really give them the health and damage they need to outlast the knights, but Donato needs to add in ARBs and also get his knights caught up in terms of upgrades here. Or he's not going to be able to fend this off, because Carnage can be relentless with the Knight Ball now. And so these Raw Knights versus Vet Knights with extra upgrades, it's not going to be an easy one for Donato. He's going to have to back off. Carnage. And just look at thinning out the army size while also looking at raiding slightly. Donato just distance gathering a bit there. It's going to be a little bit rough for him. So villagers being caught up in the fray now for Donato. It's looking really rough, and I think he's taken a turn for the worse in the series at Town Centre. It's going to be a bit isolated. These towers will be taken out. Carnage just going to camp the army production for the minute. So he knows if he can really hurt Donato in that regard, and it's GG. I was going to say, if you can hurt Donato in that regard and camp his army production, he can't produce any army from here, and it's going to be GG. Well played to our players, but Carnage takes it 2-1.